This farmer has 2 staff to record hours worked over the public holiday period this Christmas. Ben Miller is a casual worker brought in to help from time to time, and he's paid out his annual leave as he goes. Kyle Anderson is a standard worker. He works regularly 110 hours a fortnight and records his hours on a timesheet as well, so that during busy times of the year he might qualify for a top-up. Because we want to put some leave onto Kyle, we also don't want his salary to increase for that leave unnecessarily. We don't want to double up. So there's a setting change to make for Kyle. I'm just going to click on Kyle's name and select Payments from the menu. Next, I'll click the edit pencil next to his pay line. And then scrolling down the screen, I'm going to select Reduce by Leave Taken. This means that any leave paid to Kyle will reduce from his normal salary, so he's not going to get paid twice for it. You can also see that I've loaded in a work pattern showing his standard hours worked for each day. Further down, I'm just going to click OK and OK again. That's all I have to do for him there. Next, which way to record the leave? There are 2 ways to do it. One is in the corner of his pay panel. Each of them has a leave option available, or I can use the leave management view here, which lets me put the leave in for both staff at once. So I'm selecting that, and then over in the menu area I'm going to select Christmas Day. Now Kyle didn't work on Christmas Day, so he receives a statutory holiday taken. The system's already entered that for me. He's getting paid 10 hours per day at his normal standard rate, which is going to give him his relevant daily pay. Ben, on the other hand, did work on the public holiday, and I can check that when I click this button here. 5.5 hours on Christmas Day, 6 on Boxing. That's fine. So he receives his 5.5 hours worked based on the timesheet hours at his normal rate, times time and a half. So time and a half is going to be applied to his rate. The system's also suggesting 5.5 hours be set aside as an alt public holiday for him. But that's not relevant for Ben because he doesn't work enough hours for me. He's only truly casual, so I'm not going to give him another day off later on. It wouldn't be fair. So I put that 0 in there for his hours for an alt public holiday. Now all I need to do is select both of them here and tell the system to apply the changes. Next I'll choose Boxing Day. Similar pattern. Stat holiday for Kyle, there's nothing I need to do to change, and 6 hours for Ben for that day, which I know he worked. I do remove the 6 hours as an alt public holiday, he doesn't qualify for that, and apply again. Next, New Year's Day, similar again, take out the extra hours, we don't want to give him a day off for that, and apply. And then finally we have the day after New Year's Day, and now it changes. Kyle did work that day for me. I can check that when I click his timesheet here, and I see he did work 7.5 hours for me, and Ben didn't work at all. When I click his timesheet, nothing's been recorded for that day. So he has no action already suggested. But Kyle has a public holiday worked day to be recorded for himself. 7.5 hours worked on his timesheet at $20 an hour times time and a half. And I need to put some hours aside for him as another public holiday called an alternate public holiday. But 7.5 hours copied from his timesheet isn't quite right for him. He does work standard hours, and I can select his standard hours from this little drop-down menu. 10 hours is correct for him. I could also overwrite that in the box. I'm selecting both of them, and I'm choosing to apply. Now if I want to see a summary of what I've done, I just click back into the view area and select Leave Summary. And there's all the information for me. At any point I can take out any of these lines just by selecting them and clicking on the cross over here. So now I want to go back to the pay card view and finish off the pays. Straight back up to the top, I'll click on the full pay card view here. It brings me back and I can see the leave that I've recorded. I can see when I move my mouse over this arrow here for Kyle, it says that the leave that I've recorded as statutory holidays and public holiday worked will be reduced from his normal salary, so he's not going to get paid twice for it. That's good. That was that setting change I made a little while ago. I also know that these timesheet hours here should be reduced as well for those 7.5 hours because it's recorded on the timesheet and it's paid here. So if I click on his preview button at the top, I can see that it says that the timesheet actual hours have been reduced by 7.5 due to the same leave being paid out as a public holiday worked. And for Ben, he's fine. He gets paid time and a half for every hour worked and is 8% on top. There it is there. And that's it. All I need to do now is click calculate on each of the pay cards and finish off the pays.